Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and today is a special video. It is my quarantine birthday video. And if you want to see how I created my double layered vanilla cake, stay tuned and watch. Going from left to right, I have my sea salt. Next to that I have some baking powder as well as some vanilla extract. Next to that I also have about 1/2 cup of butter, and underneath that I have my sour cream, and I'll be using about 1/2 cup of sour cream. And to the side of that I have 2 large eggs as well as 1 cup of milk, and in the back there I'll be using 1 cup of brown sugar as well as 2 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. So now in a separate bowl, I'm just going to start preparing the wet ingredients, and I'm going to start by adding my 1 cup of brown sugar. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add the 1 cup of milk. And so that's the cup of milk that's going in. And then I'm going to add my 1/2 cup of melted butter. I also have my 2 eggs, my 2 large eggs that's going in. And then I'm going to add my 1/2 cup of sour cream. So I've been mixing the batter for about a minute now, and I'm just going to go ahead and add my 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So I'm just adding the vanilla extract. And I'm just going to continue to mix this a little bit more, just for a few more minutes before I add the dry ingredients. Okay, so to the bowl I'm adding the 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And I'm also adding about 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And lastly, I'll be adding about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to go ahead and start mixing everything in. Everything has pretty much been mixed in pretty evenly. And I've already set the oven to about 350 degrees. And I also have my 2 pans that I've already greased, and it's ready to go into the oven. The reason why I'm using 2 pans is because this is going to be a layered cake. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the batter to the pans and get ready to put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. And after that, we'll finish it off with some icing. Now my batter has been added to the pans, and they are ready to go in the oven. So as I mentioned, this will be a layered cake, and for the middle layer I'm going to be using a rich and creamy coconut pecan frosting from Betty Crocker. And for the top layer I will be using a cream cheese frosting to dress the cake. And that's it. My cake is finally done, and I'm just going to let it sit and cool for a few minutes before I add the frosting to my middle and top layer. On my cake stand, I've already added one of the cakes after it has cooled down. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and add the frosting on top. I'm adding the coconut pecan to the middle layer as I explained earlier. And then I'll be adding the second layer of the cake with the cream cheese frosting. I've placed a generous amount of the coconut pecan frosting on top of the middle layer, and I'm just going to go ahead and spread it out evenly. And I'll just continue to add more until I feel that it's ready for the second layer to be added. So I went ahead and added the top layer on the cake, and I had to cut off the edges just to kind of even out the cake a little bit before I add the cream cheese frosting. So I went ahead and added the frosting to the top of the cake, and I went and added some decoration on top, and this cake is pretty much ready to be served.